Greetings to you and welcome to this episode of Grace Podcast. I'm Timothy Muse. I'll be your host as we spend this time together today. It's a joy to be with you. I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank you for being part of this podcast, part of this movement, part of the growth of moving forward for yourself and expanding and making the best of who you can be. Merry Christmas. Today is Christmas Day, the day that we have been looking for so long and so much. There's been a lot of energy, emotion, everything put into coming to this moment. And if you're here listening on Christmas Day, then thank you. Perhaps maybe you're getting an early morning workout in, or you're just dwelling for a few minutes. So good for you, because the day has arrived. And when the day arrives, it arrives with a lot of expectation. It really, truly does. Let's be honest. I mean, we've been building up to this for months, almost a year, actually. Really, in some ways, Christmas Day starts getting prepared the whole year before. And there's expectations abound in this. Expectations for joy. We're expected to feel joy. Expectations to feel grateful. Expectations to feel connected and peaceful and fulfilled. Those are all expectations that are poured upon this day. And though this day is an incredible and powerful day, those are a lot of expectations for any one day and for any one person. Because the truth is, many people arrive to this day feeling tired, reflective, lonely, or emotionally full in complicated ways. So today I want to offer you something simple, gentle, and deeply needed. Today, on this beautiful day, as you enter into Christmas, I want to offer you permission. I want to offer you permission to be human, permission to slow down, permission to meet yourself with compassion exactly as you are. If all you do today is breathe, be present, and extend kindness inward, you've already honored the day. Truly, you have already honored the day. This can be a very complicated day. It's a beautiful day and wonderful day, but a very complicated day. So I want you to remember that you're human, that you have these things called emotions, and that you have these things called energy limits. So you are allowed to slow down. You are allowed to meet yourself with compassion exactly where you are. If you're tired today, own it. If you're struggling a little bit today, own it, because it is so important. If all you are able to do today is meet yourself as a human and honor where you are, then good for you. We often talk about Christmas as a season of love. It's a season of love. But love isn't always loud. It isn't always wrapped. And you know what? It isn't always easy. We've talked before about going to holiday dinners, family gatherings, all those types of things that can be far more stressful than they can be joyous. And sometimes loving someone means loving them on the other side of the room. But it is where it's at. And in this season of love, remember that sometimes love looks like rest instead of productivity. Love looks like slowing down and enjoying moments rather than speeding through them to get to the next thing. Love looks like boundaries instead of people-pleasing. Setting your own boundary and saying, this is what I'm willing to do. We talked about boundaries before. If you haven't heard the episode, I'd encourage you to go back and look at 3 or 4 episodes ago. Gentleness instead of pressure. That looks like love too. This is your day, your holiday, and you're allowed to love yourself through it. Remember that as the pressure of the day amps up, love doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to come in packages, and it doesn't have to be easy. It's not always going to be easy. So rest. Rest when you can. Set boundaries and be gentle with yourself. Self-compassion is not selfish. It's the foundation of every healthy connection you have with others and with yourself. Because when you're harsh on yourself, my friends, love feels strained. When you are compassionate with yourself, love has room to breathe. So this Christmas day, love doesn't ask you to perform. It invites you to be present. It invites you to be present in the moments, under the tree, having breakfast, preparing dinner, opening presents, hugging your kids, hugging your spouse, being with your parents. Love invites you to be present because presence creates honesty. Let's acknowledge something very honest about this. For many people, Christmas is a struggle. And maybe it's a struggle for you. It doesn't have to be an all-consuming struggle, but it can be there on the edges, missing someone who used to be there who isn't there anymore. Remembering a season that felt different when you were younger. Everything always seemed to feel different when we were younger, didn't it? Everything was so magical. We didn't have the stress and the pressure of performing. Maybe you're carrying a loss or disappointment or an unspoken longing. If that's where you are, there's nothing wrong with you. This isn't a magic day that takes all of those struggles and feelings away. It's not. There's nothing wrong with you. You're human. I said that the last time, and I'll say it again. You're a human being on Christmas Day. You don't have to make the most of it. If the most of it is just breathing and being present, then good for you. If you need time to reflect and move away, good for you. You don't have to feel grateful on command. Not everything feels grateful. There's nothing wrong with you if you don't. You don't have to pretend this day is easier than it is. When we are allowed to be present and honest, it makes things a whole lot easier. Self-compassion sounds like this. Of course this feels heavy. Anyone in my place would feel this way. Of course this is a struggle. The person I love deeply isn't here. Of course this is difficult because the love that I had or the connections I had have been severed. Connection doesn't begin to fix feelings. It begins with honoring them. So when we can honor our feelings, when we can honor where we're at, again, and this is not to say that Christmas is a downer. I'm not trying to make Christmas a Debbie Downer. No. Christmas is beautiful. But with all the expectations and all the pressures, it can create a struggle. And when we're honest and just acknowledging it, when we're honest and just seeing that it's there, that can really have power. So when you're being involved in your Christmas, be human, be present, and you know what? Be practical. Practice some gentle actions that can help you get through the day. Take a slow breath. Then quietly say to yourself, today I'll be kind to myself. I don't need to earn love. I'm allowed to rest. I'm allowed to be human, even on this day. I know so many people who get through the end of Christmas Day and they're just exhausted, going from home to home, house to house, party to party, meal to meal, trying to fulfill all these other expectations. And they're beautiful, and its family is so wonderful. And if you have a large family and you're connected to them, then good for you. But that doesn't mean that you need to exhaust yourself and empty yourself in the process. You are allowed to be gentle on yourself. You're allowed to give yourself permission to enjoy the day of your own accord, in your own terms. So when we can quietly speak to ourselves and we can quietly be compassionate with ourselves, it can change our mood, at least slightly. It can change how we treat ourselves inside of where we're at. Imagining offering yourself the same grace you would offer to a close friend on Christmas morning. That's self-compassion. And it's a form of love that lasts longer than just the day. It lasts longer than just the moment. This is not supposed to be a day when we are emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually exhausted. This is a day of joy. And as a human being, if you show up to the day by being present and being slow and being gentle, then good for you. That's what needs to happen. That's where it goes. So you don't need to force things. You don't need to make things up. You don't need to generate gratitude on command. You don't need to put your head down and push through it. That's not what the holiday's about. So honor yourself. Honor where you are right now. And honor that this is who you are. You're a human being. This is what you're dealing with. This is where you're walking. If you want a gentle, quiet moment, take a gentle, quiet moment. Don't let anybody take that from you. Honor yourself as a human being and honor where you are today. Wherever that is, it's where you are. Don't judge yourself. Don't show yourself shame or hurt. Just dwell in the moment that you're in. I hope this is helpful. I really do. I hope you have a Merry Christmas, a wonderful Christmas, a beautiful day, whatever it brings to you. And if this day is a struggle, know that you're not alone. You're not alone in that. There are others who struggle this day, and know that you're held and that you're cared for. Show yourself some self-compassion. Show yourself some love and some tenderness, and allow this day to dwell as it is. Be present, be human, and be on Christmas. Be who you are. That's all anybody can ask you to be. Merry Christmas from GraceLifeCoaching.com. Merry Christmas from Grace Life Coaching. Merry Christmas from the podcast. Merry Christmas from me. Enjoy your day, however it's presented.